The federal prosecutors, though, they asked for him to get 1 day. The judge gave him 33 months. Was this justice in your eyes?
It wasn't justice, but I got essentially what I started out for, which was jail time. So it's a start.
When you heard the prosecution say 1 day, what went through your mind?
I couldn't understand why he was there. From the moment it started, I felt as if he should have been sitting next to Brett Hankison.
The prosecutor, you mean?
The whole, yes, absolutely.
Is that what you meant? Because there was a
He
moment
was
you
there.
said, so, I'm sorry, there was a moment you said something like outside the courthouse, there was no prosecution for us. Is that what you meant? You didn't have an advocate?
Absolutely. That's exactly what I meant. He advocated for Brett the whole time. Like, there was no advocacy for the family, for any of the victims. It was him literally there to make sure Brett got the least amount of time as possible.
Did the prosecution ever speak with you or meet with you leading up to today's sentencing?
No, he didn't know who I was when he even came over to address us.
Really?
No, I've never spoke with him. He, like I said, he came over to speak with us. He didn't know who I was. From the prosecution stance, Breonna never stood a chance in that courtroom today.
Now, before I start this video, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to thank CNN on TikTok for this video. So, let me get this straight. You heard Breonna Taylor's mother said that she never met this prosecutor before. Keep in mind, the prosecutor who requests 1 day in prison for ex-Louisville cop Brett Hankison, that was Trump's DOJ. So he said 1 day in prison, but the judge said, hell no. I'm just paraphrasing it. It's going to be 33 months. My reaction is that this is still a miscarriage of justice. And I'm going to tell you why. Manslaughter or even possibly first-degree murder charges is life imprisonment without a possibility of parole in the state of Kentucky. But since he's an ex-police officer, it's going to be legal loopholes that give him either lesser sentences or no indictment. So when you have a mother, Breonna's mother herself even said, I never met this prosecutor before. She even said that she could have been side of Brett Hankison because it's like, Breonna's justice won't be served, right? And it seems to me, and remember, this is Trump's Department of Justice we're talking about. This person, ex-cop Brett Hankison, is only get 33 months, but before then, the prosecutor said, no, let's make it 1 day. What? So you're telling me the same person that unalived, Breonna Taylor, and if it wasn't for a judge to intervene this Brett Hankison is going to end up getting 1 day in prison. But the judge said no. We only get they decided 33 months. But even with that, we still get miscarriage of justice because this ex-cop should deserve to have life. Life without parole. For the unalignment of Breonna Taylor. But when you're dealing with ex-cops, they're gonna have legal loopholes that either get lesser sentences or no charges at all. Look what happened to Laquan McDonald's situation at first. When that officer, he received less sentences for Laquan McDonald's unalignment. Not to mention good behavior. But see now, if the role will reverse, if we the ones that did this, we would have get life without parole. If we unalive a police officer alone, we getting the death penalty. So it's this is why I said this is a miscarriage of justice. And when Breonna Taylor's mother was interviewed on CNN, one y'all just saw, said that she never met the prosecutor before, and was the sentencing. She never met the prosecutor before. Matter of fact, she haven't even met this guy. They never even sit down and talk about this case. But this same prosecutor says one day for Brett Hankison. But I'm glad the judge intervened and said, no, this is not negotiating. Let's make it 33 months. Even though, the Taylor family didn't like that as well, but at least it's jail time. But even with that, we still aren't satisfied because that right there, like I said, if the role were reversed, it would have been life in prison without the possibility of parole. Or if we do that to them, if we decided to delete the police officer, it's the death penalty. So this is I mean I'll give a shout out to Breonna Taylor's mother. I know she's been through a lot, especially during this court case. It's just outrageous. On After all these years, we demanding justice for Breonna Taylor, and even with this criminal justice system, they always give legal loopholes for ex cops to get away with it. Either they get lesser sentences, or they just basically go scot free. And it always happens in different situations. So y'all, let me know what you think about this. I mean, it shows you that even though Brett Hankison is going to serve jail time, this is not the justice that the Taylor family wanted. And so when you basically showing you that the officers can get away with scot free, or they can get lesser sentences, get a slap on the wrist, and then he can go back to his family. Nothing happened. While Breonna Taylor's family is still going to suffer over the loss of especially her mom, over the loss of her daughter. Let me know what you think about it in the comments.